Thank you for joining me. I'm Alex. I want to talk to you about Amazon. So, Amazon, as pretty much everyone knows, is a worldwide e commerce retailer, and worldwide means that they're in a lot of countries. And they've been in most European countries for, 10, 15 years. So, they have a lot of experience with expanding internationally. And one main thing that I need to mention here is that they also have the Amazon Web Services, which is server products and backend systems for people like Netflix and Slack and so many others. So all of the server infrastructure, the backend for a lot of big internet companies, or big recent internet companies at the very least, are hosted on Amazon Web Services. And Amazon Web Services actually is responsible for most of Amazon's profit. So, to preface this whole video, if I could buy Amazon Web Services stock instead of having to buy Amazon stock, I would go for that. I would go for that 100%. But let's continue about Amazon as a whole. So the price currently is $17.93, plus 0.3% today. Today was a pretty bad day in the stock market. We finished up very slightly. And that's a PE of 74. So price to earnings of over 74, which is pretty high, especially in the current stock market environment. But let's look at some other stats first. So they don't pay dividend. So you're not going to make any money until you sell the stock, because they're in growth mode, and they're going to be in growth mode for quite a long time from now. So I don't think you can rely on getting a dividend anytime soon. Maybe 5 years out, when they're at a sufficient size where just throwing more money at the problem isn't really an option. But definitely wouldn't rely on getting a dividend. Total assets of $162 billion, total liabilities of $119 billion. So you can see that the balance sheet is looking pretty good. I would almost say it looks fairly great, but definitely not a bad balance sheet. Definitely very good. So annual growth of 30% for a company this big, and the revenue, which I should have mentioned, $235 billion. So growing from $177 billion to $230 billion, quite a huge step. So the growth is amazing for a company of this size, and profits are growing even faster. So they went, gross profit wise, they went from 65 to 93 billion. So a healthy jump in profits there. And as I mentioned, AWS makes a significant chunk of that profit, and AWS already paid for a lot of the the backends, the servers, the data centers, and everything. And all that investment is paying off currently. So AWS at this point extremely profitable, and might even be growing faster than the whole company. So at the annual growth of 30%, which means they would double their business every 3-ish years. So to get to a PE that's manageable, it would take them only 6 years. And after that, it's pure profit. So I think that even at the current fairly high price, Amazon really should be a stock to buy if you're going to hold it for a significantly long time. So if your horizon is 10-ish years or longer, I think Amazon is a good stock. If your horizon is much shorter than that, I don't think it's the stock for you. It's definitely a growth stock. It's obviously not a value stock, and it's obviously not a dividend stock. So if you're looking for long-term growth, I think it's a good stock. And I think that it is an extremely safe stock. So if there were a recession coming, I think Amazon would be one of the big players that are going to, first of all, stick around, second of all, still grow, and third of all, be extremely safe. So there's absolutely no chance that Amazon is going to go broke in the next recession. So good stock to buy if you have a very long horizon. Anyway, I'm coming out with more videos every day before market open, so if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe if that's what you're into. I hope you have a successful day.